But it's like, if that thing is sour, I, what the fuck was I talking about? Um, that makes me so happy. Yeah. Oh, well, I was basically saying that, like, you will end up blocking a lot of your blessings if, yeah. Oh, fuck. Yeah. I was saying that, like, hope is literally my biggest asset, and that, like, as much as being hopeful might not be, like, okay, wait. So, my thing is, there's a big difference between being hopeful and being ignorant. And for me, ignorance is kind of blind allegiance to something, like blind loyalty to something, without adjusting your level of access to that thing based off of the past, or without pattern recognition and self-preservation in accordance with the patterns that you recognize or have recognized. um but I feel as if hope is making sure that no matter what, you are choosing your happiness and keeping your arms open so that if something does happen to present itself better um, than it has in the past, that things can be different, but then also having the discernment to know that that does not mean that you immediately give unadulterated access to that circumstance. It means being able to move the level of access in accordance with your discernment, but not to close the gates the second that you sense danger. Like for me, that looks like with school. Like it means, oh, this is such a good example. I had a 10:30 class my freshman year, and it smoked me every time. Oh, it smoked me every fucking time. I think I went like, you know what? Scout's honor. I'm gonna shut the fuck up and not embarrass myself. Regardless, it's not even embarrass myself. Well, it kind of is embarrassing. Well, the only reason that my thing is fuck a class. If I feel like I'm gaining everything that it is out of the course, then I'm like, why would I go to the class? But because I feel like I can't gain what it is that I want to get out of the class if I'm not going, that's why I'm like, need that class. But if not, it would be like, fuck a class. Let me get this degree. Play it easy. That's why I'm like, college is literally just so arbitrary. It all has to do with like fucking wants, needs, capacities. If yours don't align with that institution, damned it all to hell for real. Because it's like, I'm just like, any opportunity that I ever pursue is meant ultimately to maximize my exploration, my ability to disseminate information that's beneficial to me and to other people, and to figuring out a symbiosis between the two. And it's to change the fucking world in the right direction. So I'm like, if I was able to get that out of like not going to class, then I would just use college as a credential and use, of course, the other resources to just explore like my creative interests that aren't provided within my course load. But because I care about college beyond a credential, I like the fact that I'm learning every day. I like the fact that I'm challenging myself, that I'm expanding my knowledge, that I am allowing myself possibilities that I had not had before. But it's the fact that last quarter or last time I just was not going. Um and I was upset with myself for not going, not just because it's like, oh, I should be going to these classes, I'm paying for this, but because I'm like, I care about fucking college. I went and got an A in the class anyways. But it's like, I don't want to ever do or be obliged to or like signed on to doing things that I don't want to do. Which is why I was like, which exactly with those classes, I'm like, fuck the class if I don't feel like the class is benefiting me. But that's why I feel like right now I am in the stage where I'm like, I'm only doing things that I want to do because I trust my discernment to a point where I am like, the things that I want to do are things that are furthering my well being and the well being of that symbiosis once again. So it's like, that's why I'm like, whenever I fall out of touch with that, I really do need to reel back. I really need to be honest with myself and reel back because sometimes it is just like you want to just live in that cognitive dissonance and be like, I know that this is so shitty, but I'm going to keep on doing it. But that's why I'm like, cognitive dissonance will be the death of me for real because it drives me crazy to know that something's wrong for me, but to keep doing it. So, like, the crazy of it all comes from the fact that a lot of the time I have that discernment, but then the action takes a lot longer to form than the actual identification. But whenever it really clicks, I'm like, oh, I'm there. I'm there for real. I'm there. Um, yeah, very cool stuff. What the fuck? Oh, but the example is, I was like, last year, whenever I was making my schedule for my next term, I was like, oh, I'm not going to take another early class because I don't feel like I'm ready for that yet. And it's the fact that I was like, I'm still hopeful that I can do that in the future. Like, I don't believe that just my ability to do that is just not existent. I just believe that I'm not ready to give early classes that level of access to me right now because I don't feel like it aligns with my wants, needs, and capacities. But this term, I signed up for two because I adjusted my schedule accordingly. And instead of just being like, oh, I'm so shitty at early classes, and then literally just getting a schedule where I have to do right, because right now I'm doing 3 days a week and one online class. And I literally have 4 days of, well, I have 3 days of weekend and then I have Wednesday off. And I'm like, that's so lit because I'm doing two early classes because instead of just telling myself that I'm bad at it and leaving it at that, because you have to remember that the narratives that you tell yourself are the narratives that your brain internalizes as well. It's not just in your conscious. That seeps down into the depths, the crevasses of your mind. So I was like, yeah, it's not something that my ability is of right now, but I can do it in the future. So then I was like, okay, future's here. Instead of just telling myself I'm bad at it, which is a non-productive statement, if I want to be productive or progressive statement, if I want to be progressive with this thing, I got to think progressively. So it's like, I'm not comfortable with my ability in that right now, but I can further it if I adjust other factors in my life. So I adjusted the amount of days that I was going to school. I'm still doing OD credit. Well, OD meaning not OD, like a pretty standard amount. And I wish I was doing a little more, but I couldn't find another online class. But I'm also like, I'm still young in turn. I have a lot of years left in school because I'm doing 5 years. Because my yeah, I have a 5 year program or whatever the fuck. Because I'm doing actually. Oh, if I give too much information, y'all will be able to figure out where I go to school, which I don't like. But since it's yeah, but it's like I'm still doing the same amount of credits, but it's like I have 3 days of school a week, and that is so perfect for me because the 2 days that I have school early because I signed up for two 9:30 classes, and I took my ass to them. To be fair, this is only the first week, but this is why I want to like check in and keep myself accountable, and like I want to be vulnerable with talking about the fact that this is something I don't know in full my capabilities within right now. Well, I know what they are right now because right now is my mind this very second. And this very second, I believe that if this week showed me anything, no, because this isn't about this week. This is about where I feel right now. Right now, I feel good about it. Right now, I feel like it has shown me that I can wake up early and have a really good fucking day. And just knowing that, even not knowing that, even if this week went fucking terribly, it's the fact that I am capable of doing things that I have not done rhythmically or period. I am capable of doing things that I have not been able to be consistent with before. I am capable of doing things that I do not always think about my ability to be the best in. But the fact that I keep that hope alive, the fact that I know that there can be something better than what there is right now for me, or something beyond what there is right now, even just period. I'm like, that's that fact about variability. That's why I'm the biggest advocate on you have to concede to variability. You got to just let it be. You got to give it up. You just got to give it up, give it back, you know? Because it's like, you don't know what the fuck could happen 5 seconds from now. Your whole house could be set aflame. But it's like, literally, your whole everything could be like set aflame. Like, you could be killed, or you could win $1,000,000, or you could just go the fuck to sleep. But it's like, you never know what the next whatever brings. So, once again, even if you can't emotionally hope within the solution, acknowledge that everything is variable. That's another reason why it's so important to work in the solution, or to only organize within the solution rather than with your feelings. Because it's like, the solution is what is beyond that moment. The feeling is the thing that you felt, and that can never be changed. But the solution is the progression past that moment if it was something unsavory. So that's why I'm like, if you, oh, what was I just saying though that connected to that? Oh, because it's like, you don't ever have to believe, you don't ever have to feel that hope is something you can do. But if within the solution, if you're like, that's not a feeling that I like having, that hope isn't alive. If within the solution, you don't talk yourself out of it and just delude yourself into being like, no, it is. If you can rationalize through that and just be like, well, variability is real, which means hope could be real, which means it's not intellectualizing your feeling, it's acknowledging where you're at right now with that identification. Because if you make it superficially or inorganically, then it is not going to sustain. So if you can tell yourself right now, I don't think hope is alive. However, within the solution, I do want to be able to acknowledge that variability does exist, and that just random shit happens fucking every day, and that things could get better, even if I don't feel like they are, that they could. Then you build a foundation for creating the thought process that you want. But then also that can be a weapon. So you got to be careful with that for real. But it's like, do not try to talk yourself out of a feeling. I feel like that's why I like that approach more, because it's like, no matter what, it makes sure that you validate your feeling, that no matter what, you don't lose that. Because if there's ever a scenario where someone is trying to talk you out of how you feel and to instead make you identify your feeling with how they wanted you to feel from something, then that's what's fucked up. Because if you can't identify your own feeling as what that was, whatever someone else is trying to convince you that you should feel is them proposing a solution for you and prioritizing their wants for your mind before your capacities for your own mind and your experiences for your own mind. Food for thought. With no further ado, though, I'm going to go downstairs, fuck up some food. What else? And, oh, I'm going to make a little steamed bun. Hey, that's a good ass idea. That's a really good fucking idea. Yeah. And then I'm going to go the fuck to sleep. I'm going to wake up early. I'm going to have a great morning. I need to really, like, just buckle down with this sleep thing. I really need to go the fuck to sleep. I need to take my meds. I need to eat. I need to eat. Then I need to take my meds. Then I need to go to sleep. Then, no, I need to eat. I need to take my meds. I need to read. And then I need to go to sleep. No. Okay. This doesn't have to happen on camera. But yeah. Exactly. Variability. Bet your ass did not know I was going to do that. Actually, that's pretty predictable. I feel like the looks fit the descriptions for real. But yeah, going the fuck to sleep. Have a nice night. Have a good time. I love. It's funny because I'm like, this is literally okay. Okay, I'm done because I'm trying to go to sleep early. Always me trying to see what the hell type mess is on my bed. Okay. Yeah. Bye.